the things that I think all of you are up against is a lot of cynicism out there, and apathy, frankly, as well. And they, you know, we talk to people that one of the things they say, well, you know, what's happening is the política has really just become about quítate tú para ponerme yo, that kind of stuff, and self-aggrandizement, gets little sinecures for my own family, for my own little pet projects, and so on. How do you see that as in terms of affecting issues like turnout and participation and being able to count on the community to really be behind their elected officials?
I think that oftentimes it's kind of an excuse, because these are things that could be said of any group. These are things when we talk about, oh, the Latinos are electing their children and all this stuff. What about the Kennedys? You know, they did it also. I think that it's about electing the most qualified person. I didn't get elected with the support of the Democratic Party. Am I a Democrat? Absolutely. Do they need to speak to me now? Absolutely.
They sure do.
So there's just going to be moments where we're not the flavor of the month. And you have to be within your convictions to understand that you're going to run and that you're going to do it anyway. I do think that there needs to be a more conversation about how progressive we are and where we are in the future, and focusing on the positives. The cynicism, oftentimes I go door to door often, even after my election, and you'll hear people, I don't want nothing to do with politics. I'm so done with it. But then you have to realize there's politics in everything. There's politics in our office. There's politics in our home. How we even deal with each other. There's politics in our home. You know who's really going to get something done. And trust me, the ones that can really speak about politics in our home is our young people, because they know who they have to go to get what they want, and who can motivate, who's going to be the unifier and who's not. Really, politics is a beautiful science, I believe. Are there people out there that make it distasteful? Absolutely. But what job, what industry is under such scrutiny as politics? There's 150, I believe it's 130,000 elected positions in the country. And we see such a small percentage that really make these horrible mistakes and you know, things that are inexcusable with tax dollars and inexcusable with behavior. Currently, my district was impacted greatly by the change of our senator. And he was someone who was a mentor. But the reality is that at the moment that I needed to stand against domestic violence, I didn't think about it twice. But that would give a distaste for some people, but it's an opportunity to say, no, we stand with women issues, we stand with women rights. And I think that it's about changing our own conversation as we educate our people. No, this is just another excuse that they want to put on us as to why you shouldn't go out. That's when you really should go out. And that's why I was really excited to see the turnout in my district. Because if anybody could have cynicism, it was the voters in my district.
Why that?
Because they had a special election in my race. Yes. Then they have a senator who's there for a year but is going through a trial. Talk about soap opera. Then he joins the Republicans, comes back to the Democrats. Yes. Then he votes against gay rights, even though our district is the second largest gay community in New York City.
Really? Okay.
And he stood, yes, and he stood with gay rights. And it stood for gays for a long time, but then now all of a sudden, you know, he found whatever convictions he wanted to find and is going to vote against gay marriage. It's just, and this is what the voter is seeing. So now you have another spectrum. Oh, and then we go through his trial here at the Senate. Right. And he gets kicked out, something that hasn't happened in over 100 years. Why should they be motivated? But they were. They were motivated by an issue. When you talk about issues and substance, people will come out. When we're talking about throwing people under the bus, y los chisme, then people feel disconnected. But we really, really proved in my district that when you talk about substance and issues, people care. And I really hate it when people say, ay, que tengo apatía, but it's just another excuse. I think that when we see our seniors coming down in their wheelchairs, running to vote, and even our young people who are motivated, who say, I'm here because he's voting against gay rights, or I'm here because he slashed a woman in the face, or I'm here because I believe in Jose and he's going to make a difference, or I'm here, Julissa, because you asked me to come. There's a whole bunch of ways and reasons to get someone to a poll site. When we think that our voters are so, you know, one track, we're so multifaceted as a people, and there's so many issues out there. We as elected officials need to be better at connecting with our voters.
And as you look at the future down the road, Would there be a Latino or Latina that from where you sit right now, you see as having the best chance at projecting as a citywide or state level elected official?
Yes, of course. There's talks about Ruben Diaz,
Okay.
the borough president of the Bronx. There's talk, Melissa Mark-Viverito is currently the caucus chair. I think she's a very dynamic Latina. There's a lot of great Latinos and Latinas that have a great opportunity and that we can all sit down. But it's about all of us sitting down, looking at the person that's going to attack, because it really is attack this issue. And we have to take it, but we also have to finance these races. There's a great deal that goes into running for office. And if we don't put our money where our mouths are, we're always going to lose, because there's always going to be someone else trying to keep us back. And there's always going to be a candidate that they're going to give them money just so that a Latino doesn't get elected.